Greetings, everybody, and welcome back to Wolfinia. This is episode 282 of my Minecraft survival series, and as of late, we've spent a lot of time working on the dual spires here in the waterside district of the city. Most recently, we got the interiors done on both of the towers, but there's still a lot of work to do. However, we are not going to be working on the towers today because there's some other stuff that needs our attention that you might be able to see right there. Yeah, we need to do some maintenance here, Owie. We need to do some maintenance here because we have had an incident in the farm district of Wolfinia, it seems. One of our silos here has burned down. Now, it's probably due to the fact that I placed a lightning rod on top of the wooden roof of this structure, which, you know, in retrospect, might not have been the greatest idea, but we're going to fix it. We're going to fix this today. We're also going to go around Wolfinia and take some preventative measures to make sure, you know, this doesn't happen again. All right, we're going to go ahead and jump right into this. Now, since I already know what this structure is supposed to look like and I have reference for it, this hopefully won't take too long. But we're going to go ahead and rebuild the burned down silo here, and then after that, we'll make our way around the city and do some general lightning proofing. At this point, we're going to go ahead and jump right into it. Let's go ahead and call the drone on over here, put on a little bit of music, and get to work. Welcome back, everybody. Our carrot tower is now all back together, looking good. We have our fence over here by the stables mended up. We have our landscaping back in here. Hopefully everything's good with this, including the internals. I didn't really check out the internals, but I think it should be fine. None of that stuff is really flammable to my recollection. But that is rebuilt, and we do have the lightning rod still on top of there, but now it is separated from the actual roof with a couple layers of rock, so hopefully that avoids any future issues. Now, I do want to address the other lightning rods we have here placed around Wolfinia, and we do have quite a few. A lot of them, though, are for aesthetic purposes, just to give a little pizzazz to the tips of our structures. But, you know, I think we should probably, you know, give more thought to function rather than form, so we'll probably go through and take a lot of these lanterns off the tops of them. We'll go through and make them actually functional, make sure we have good coverage throughout our city to prevent any future incidents. We're also going to go through and take all these lightning rods out because with the way lightning rods need to be spaced now, like, we no longer need this much coverage. And honestly, this was a stupid idea anyway, because, you know, obviously I have a wooden walkway here and wood tends to burn. So we'll get all this stuff repaired. We'll go through the city and kind of take care of all our lightning rods, place to stop structures, and just make sure everything is good, make sure everything is lightning proof. In addition to that, we'll go to the tops of our towers here, probably add some lightning rods because that will give us coverage over the waterside district and a little bit of coverage on the areas just outside the waterside districts as well. I think that would probably be a really good idea. So, yeah, that needs to happen. Might as well happen now. Welcome back, everybody. At this point, I think we should have all of Wolfinia lightning-proofed, all of our structures anyway. These areas outside the city, I'm not super worried about this because if the trees end up burning down over there, that just saves me trouble later on in case I want to clear out those areas to build something. But we have lightning rods spaced throughout the city to provide us more than enough coverage to make sure we don't get any lightning strikes on vulnerable structures. We have all of our lightning rods uncovered. We even added some lightning rods here at the tops of each of our dual-spired towers in the Waterside District to make sure we had coverage over this area. We have lightning rods placed throughout the Business District to protect it, throughout the Farm District to protect it, and throughout Wolfen's Laboratory to, of course, protect it. Even the Enchantry over here has some lightning rods on it, despite the fact that I don't think it would be a huge loss if this monstrosity were to burn down anytime soon. But you know what? I think Mr. Wolfens has plans for it, so that's fine. Anyway, take that, Mother Nature. I also have lightning rods placed throughout the approach. I forgot to mention that, but we did place lightning rods throughout the approach because we do have vulnerable structures over here as well. We have them pretty much all throughout with the exception of this area right here, but I don't really have a good, anywhere good to place lightning rods over here, so we'll just hope for the best. Actually, no, I did put some lightning rods over here to keep our Peacekeeper charged. Hopefully these offer us some protection. Now, I was just doing some thinking, and thinking back, fires are something we've had to deal with here in Wolfinia for a long time, since the beginning of our world, in fact. And even now that we have the lightning rods in place to prevent fires caused by lightning strikes, I am still worried, if I'm to be honest with you. So what I want to do is put my original plans for this episode on hold, and we're going to focus on fireproofing our city thoroughly, not just with the lightning rods, but with the fire station. We need firefighting services here in Wolfinia. Now, flying around the established districts of our city, there's not a whole lot of room to build a fire station, but I do think we need one easily accessible to the farm district here, because the farm district is by far the most vulnerable portion of our city when it comes to fires. So, I'm thinking we might go ahead and do our first build in the outer districts today. We could do the fire station right here, and that would give us easy access to the farm district through this entrance right here. It would also provide us easy access to the rest of Wolfinia through the Owie. Forgot I built this wall right here. It would also give us easy access to the rest of Wolfinia through the Waterside District. Now, I think I have a pretty good idea of the block palette we're going to use. Obviously, it's going to use up a lot of bricks since I do need to spend all these bricks that we get from trading with our villagers. But I've had, in my head that I was going to build a firehouse here in Wolfinia for quite a while, so I think I have a pretty good idea of how we're going to do it, I think. So let's go ahead and do a little bit of planning, shall we? Now, I don't want this to be a huge structure. I mean, I don't want it to have a big footprint. I do want it to be sizable, though. I want it to be somewhat impressive. So first things first, we're going to build a tower right here. Now, this tower is going to extend up quite a ways because I do want a view of the city from the top of it, or at least a view of the farm district. I mean, even this height, I think, is pretty good. We do have a good view of the farm district from here, but I also want to be able to see a lot of the rest of Wolfinia. I think this might be a good height to do that. I don't want it too tall because I don't want to dwarf any of the other structures here because we do have a lot of structures that I want to appear tall, and I don't need a lot of structures equaling them in height or anything. In addition to the tower, though, there is going to be more to this structure. All right, so as far as the rest of this structure goes, this is the kind of layout for the first floor. This will be a garage where we house our fire wagon. On top of this, there'll be another floor. This is where we'll house our firefighters up at the top of this structure. And I think that should be good. Now, we do have a lot of space available to us on this side. I'm thinking we could build up a water tower here where obviously we will store water. Now, we do have a water tower in Wolfinia already over here in the business district that we built a long time ago. There is a potential to reuse this design and bring some cohesion to the city, but I'm actually now thinking probably not because I am actually not a huge fan of how that looks. So what we might actually do is redo this water tower with whatever new design we come up with, provided it does fit in that space. We will see. We might be due for an upgrade. Now, back to the watchtower. I think what we're probably going to do, since we do have a lot of room available to us on the outside, is we might have the staircase wrapping around the outside, going up the exterior of the tower, rather than being an interior staircase. The roof here will be on this level. The floor will be on this level, though I do want it to be covered. So we'll have the front entrance to the tower be about right here. From that, we will build a little porch out off to the front of our structure. And what we're going to do is we're going to have this kind of wrap around the sides here. And this will also give us access to these stairs, which I think will probably start about right here, just a little bit back from the front. And these will wrap around the entire thing. And we'll just do some basic flat landings on each of the corners. That way we don't have like an awkward transition as we move around the side. We'll keep it simple. Now, as far as our block palette goes, we are not building this structure entirely out of bricks. I do like variety. We are going to make use out of this terracotta right here. So this is going to be the basic design of our structure. We'll have each floor kind of sectioned off. Whatever we do to the tower, we'll do to this side as well, or at least something similar. We'll add some details in here just to hopefully kind of keep things somewhat interesting. Now, as far as our details go, I think at this point I am pretty much settled on dark oak accents and our deep slate bricks as well. Yeah, so we're probably going to roll with something like that. We'll take this design, kind of carry it throughout the rest of the structure. At this point, I think I have a pretty good idea of what I want to do. Hopefully you guys have a slight idea of what I want to accomplish. Let's go ahead and call the drone on over here, put on a little bit of music, and see if we can get it done. Welcome back, everybody. At this point, we do have our fire station built. I know you can't really see it because we're way up here in the tower right now, but the tower does house an essential component of this build. It houses our fire pole, which is, as far as I'm concerned, the most important part of this structure. But from up here, we do have an excellent view of the farm district of Wolfinia specifically. We can also see out into the expanse, looking for smoke on the horizon throughout Wolfinia. And if we were to see such a thing, that means there's a fire. So what we can then do, if we're on watch, we can go over here and start ringing the bells, or at least a couple of them, and get this one to jump. And then, after we've let everybody know, alert everybody to the presence of fire, we can then slide down our fire pole right here, down to the bottom, get ready to fight some fires, right? So if we're going to do that, we would then go this way and hop in our wagon. Of course, the wagon is not here as of now, neither is the interior. We do still need to do the entire interior of this structure, and we will do that at some point in the near future. But I guess for right now, let me just go ahead and give you a view of what the actual structure looks like, since we haven't seen that yet outside of the time lapse. Personally, I do like it. I think it fits into this space nicely. We do have these stairs that kind of wind up around the outside. We'll take a look at the rest of that in just a minute. I want to go ahead and finish giving you guys a tour of the ground floor, though. So we were just talking about our wagon. It will be a horse-drawn wagon, so we'll need a place to house our horse. We have this area outside with a trough for the horse. We have our food for the horse over here, and we can just bring the horse out here and kind of attach it to the wagon whenever we need to go handle our business, right? Moving on, we have our water tower in the middle of this area. We do have a space where we can pull the wagon into the water tower to fill up the tank that will be on top of the wagon, and this is functional. Flip this switch right here. It does unleash water to fill up the tank, hopefully providing our firefighters with all the water they need. We'll go ahead and turn this off for now, though, because we don't want to waste water, right? As far as the rest of this, you can see, like, I haven't touched this area yet. I kind of build this in a very defined space because I do want to kind of figure out how we're going to do our landscaping in the outer districts, how we're going to do our roads. The landscaping back behind the building is done. That's part of this as far as I'm concerned. But as far as the greater landscaping and roads of the outer districts, that's something still to be determined. Anyway, yeah, let's go ahead and make our way up to the next floor and check out a little bit more of our firehouse, shall we? So you'll notice these stairs don't wrap around the tower here. They go around this structure, which is basically going to be the barracks for our firefighters. They will be housed in here. They will also have access to the fire pole right here, so they can slide down, make a quick exit when they need to. We will handle the interiors, as I said, at some later point, probably not next episode, because there's a lot of stuff I need to take care of in the Waterside District. Mr. Wolf is keeping me on a kind of a tight leash right now. If we go up this way, though, that does lead us to the roof of the barracks right here. Nothing really special, it's just a roof. If we continue up just a little bit more, that will take us back to the tower, though, where we began this whole thing. Now, I do have to say, I kind of enjoyed this build. Kind of a nice break from the Waterside District. The outer districts here will be kind of like this, just kind of smaller, more varied builds throughout. It's going to be fun, but there is still a lot of work to do. And you know, this structure is large enough that we do get some pretty cool reveals as we go through the city here. I think probably the best view of it, not in the outer districts, will be from over here at the entrance to the farm district as we make our way in from the Grand Rotunda here. If we look over, we can instantly see it. It draws our attention, lets us know there's something beyond the farm district, other areas to explore. It's kind of nice.
Ew, what is this monstrosity? Is this builder like the arson police? Huh. I could just start vandalizing his redstone. Yes!
But that, I think, is going to do it for us here today, guys. I hope you all enjoyed this episode. If you did, please be sure to hit that little thumbs up button. That would mean a whole lot to me. And if you want to see more of Wolfinia, please remember to subscribe. But as always, I just want to thank you guys for hanging out with me today. I deeply appreciate it. And until next time, I hope you enjoyed your stay here in Wolfinia. I'll see you guys later.